Good evening, guys. We'll wait for a few minutes that everyone join. The count is still low. Yes. Good evening, guys. Is my voice audible? Am I audible? Yeah. Yeah. So again, will like I've been reminding you daily, please finish those three courses. Okay. Welcome to ServiceNow Micro Certification and ServiceNow Administration Fundamentals. If you're stuck anywhere, just message in the Telegram group. Okay, but try to finish the course. So next week, Google form will be provided to you. So you need to submit the Google form. Then you will receive the certification. Take the screenshot of the course completion. The welcome to service now, a micro certification in Snap. Snap is like a 15 hours course. So watch the videos. And once that is done, keep the screenshot in the chat, in a Google form that I will share with you next week. And try to, if you whoever has created the skill wallet accounts, click on mark as complete in skill wallet also, so that the course will be finished in skill wallet as well. Okay. So after you submit the Google form, entire completion form, screenshots, you will receive the certification. The moment you finish after filling the Google form, you'll receive the certificate from our side in the mail, in your registered mail ID. We need to check spam also. Sometimes the mail goes into the spam. And you can find the certificate in your AICT portal as well and your skill wallet accounts. Okay, these are the three places where you can find the certificates. I hope this is clear, right? Any questions? So whoever joined today, it's today only, just complete the course on the three courses which are posted in the chat today. Okay, still any more questions regarding the, skill wallet or course completion, please let me know. So actually, virtual VILT sessions will end this week on Friday. From next week, you'll have mentoring sessions where your doubts regarding the labs or any topics will be clarified from next week. So 2 weeks of mentoring sessions are there for you starting from Monday. Okay, so this Friday, your VILT training sessions will end. No, you'll not get certificate in SNU account. You'll get certificate in the mail only. Internship completion certificate you'll receive. Virtual internship completion certificate is what you'll receive from SmartGrid side. Okay, so let's have a recap of what we have done yesterday. So, can anyone tell me what topics were done yesterday? So, course completion is mandatory, guys, to receive the certificate. So, what topics have we discussed yesterday? We have discussed dictionary override, field dependency, and ACL, access control list, right? So what are the four types of ACL? Can anyone tell? Google form you will receive to upload the certificate. You'll receive Google form next week. I will share it with you all. Okay, so yesterday we have done so CRUD operation, it's CRUD, CRUD. So in ASL we have four operations, that is CRUD operation: create, read, update, delete. So if any user wants to either create something or read something or update something or delete something, for all these things he needs to have an access. Okay, so access is given between four ACLs. We have four types of ACLs. Sorry for that. Yeah. So four types of ACLs. One is table.none, table.star, and star.star are the uh, table.none, table.star, table.field, and star.star are the four types of ACL that we have. Okay, what does table.none do? Table.none will give access to the entire table. Okay, entire table access it will give. Coming to the table.field will give access to one particular table, one particular field access only it will give. Okay, in any one particular table that you're selecting, that particular field only it will give access. That is table.field. And next one is table.star. So table.star will give access to entire tables in ServiceNow as well as all their fields. Okay, entire table in ServiceNow as well as all their fields. This is what table.star does. And there is one thing that is star.star which we won't use. So it will give access to all the tables in ServiceNow, all the 600 tables in ServiceNow and all their fields. So it's practically not right to use that star.star. So we don't use it, but we have to know it. Okay. So can anyone tell me what is elevate role? What is elevate role? Yes, yeah, elevate role we discussed yesterday. So to create ACL, even admin cannot create ACL. Even with admin role, we cannot create ACL because ACL is security purpose. So even admin don't have access to create ACL, just like that. So he should also upgrade his role. Okay, he will upgrade his role to security admin through elevate role. Then only he'll be able to create the ACL, that is access control list. Okay, so in ACL, we'll give access by role, not by the user. Okay, we'll always give access by role, not by any user. So we don't give access to a user, we'll give access to a role and then we'll give that role to the user. Okay, that's how ACL works. And this is all about ACL concept. And we have done small concepts like what dictionary override. So what was dictionary override? Dictionary override. So we have this parent-child tables, right? So in any a parent table will have almost 10 or 20 child tables. It don't have a particular count that these many tables only it should have. It can have any number of tables. So if a parent field is having a mandatory field, and all the child tables will inherit that mandatory field. Even the mandatory thing also will be inherited by the child tables. Okay, but our scenario is such a way that in one of the among those 20 child tables, in one child table, I don't want that field to be mandatory, which was inherited from the parent table. So to do that, we use this concept called dictionary override, where we override the mandatory field for that particular child table without changing it in the parent table. Okay, without making any changes in the parent table or other sibling child tables, we will just make changes. We'll just override that in one particular child table only. That is dictionary override. Okay, and the next concept that we have done is field dependency. So field dependency is nothing but when one field values are dependent on other field values. Okay, Like yesterday, we have taken one example, that is state fields. We have country fields as well as city fields. Okay. So when I select India as a country, I want only Indian cities to be populated. When I select Australia as a country, I want only Australian cities to be populated. Okay, so yesterday we have taken United Kingdom and Australia example. When we have selected United Kingdom, only United Kingdom choices were populated. But when we selected Australia, only Australian cities were populated. So that's how field dependency will work. Clear? So let me just share the screen. So we are done with ACL. Yeah. So next we have a concept called import set. Okay, this is also a important concept. It's quite easy. It's not as much confusing as ACL. It's quite easy one. Yeah. So can anyone tell me what is import in our normal English? When do we say import? What is import? Yes, anyone? Yeah, when something is brought from outside to us. Okay, that is called import. Okay, so we'll say import, export. When we send our data, like our things outside, we'll say export. When we bring things from outside to us, then we'll say import. Right. So just like that, there is a concept called import set in service now. So this is basically used for data. Okay, data. So if you want to bring some data from external sources into ServiceNow. Okay, if you want to bring some data from external sources, external in the sense outside sources, okay, any of the outside applications, you want to bring those data into ServiceNow, then we'll use this input set. So why? What is the need to bring the external data into ServiceNow? What is the need? So see, maybe like there may be some 10,000 records outside in some Excel sheet. There are 10,000 records, 10,000, 10,000 data is there in an Excel sheet. And now, for my work purpose, I want that 10,000 records into ServiceNow. Okay, 10,000 records into ServiceNow. So, is it practically possible to enter all the 10,000 records in ServiceNow tables? It is possible, but how long would that take? Yes, how long would that take to enter 10,000 records data into ServiceNow? Like to manually enter it and save it in tables. A lot of time, right? So in these times, we cannot afford so much time. So we need to have a quick things where we can directly import, import so much of data at a time, at once only into Service. So for that purpose, we have a concept called import set. So import set is basically any kind of data from external sources when it is imported into ServiceNow tables. Okay, in any of the ServiceNow tables, you're importing it from external sources, then that is called import set. So an import set is a powerful tool used to import data from various sources and map the data into ServiceNow tables. Okay, think of it as a bridge between external data and your ServiceNow instance. Okay, it's like a bridge between external. So external data is one thing and your ServiceNow is one thing, and imports it is like the bridge between these two applications. Okay, these two sources. ServiceNow is one source and your external application is one source. So imports it here is the bridge where it will, where the data passes from that source to this source. You can message in the Q&A when I ask a question. You can respond in the Q&A. I can see the Q&A. Okay, so import set acts like a bridge between the in ServiceNow and the external source. So an import set is a powerful tool used to import data from various sources and map the data into ServiceNow tables. Okay, it's like a bridge between external data and your ServiceNow instance. Okay, so now here the question arises: what is this external data? What is this external data source? Okay, so your external data source can be anything like Excel sheet, LDAP, Azure, CSV file, spreadsheets, or any of this HTML file. So any of this can be external data. Okay, from any of these sources, you can import data into ServiceNow. So this is the data source. And we have a step-by-step process uh, to do import set. Okay, so this is the question that is always asked in the examination or any ServiceNow interviews. What are the steps in import set in ServiceNow? So you should always go in order, proper order. You should answer your this question in a proper order. What? Right. So that's how you have to answer step by step. So first step is choosing the external source. So whether you're importing from LDAP, Azure, or Excel sheet or a spreadsheet. So from where you're uploading, that should be chosen. And next is load the data. Okay. So load the data. So whatever the data from external sources you are, giving, that is loaded into ServiceNow. So there's 10,000 records or 20,000 records or 25,000 records, any number of records. It doesn't matter. Even if 3, 4 records also, it doesn't matter. So you have to load the data into ServiceNow. Okay, first choose the external data source, then load the data into ServiceNow. Should load the data into ServiceNow. So loading is nothing but data is temporarily stored here. Okay, so to load the data, you have to have some place, right? There should be some place where uh, data should be loaded. You cannot randomly load the data anywhere, right? Okay. So for loading the data, we have a temporary table. Okay. We have a temporary table. So that table is called staging area. We can call that staging table or staging area or a temporary table, anything you can call. Okay. So staging table or import set table also you can call. So here in the first step, after you take the data from Excel sheet, this data is temporarily stored in this area, this in this import set table, in the staging table, it is temporarily stored. Okay, for time being to check the data, to do our further steps, the data is kept temporarily in this staging table. Okay, this staging table is can be called anything. You can call it staging table, staging area, or temporary table, or import set table. You can call. Okay. So in this, you don't have to create any fields or anything. You don't have to create. On the in fields are automatically created. The moment you load the data in this import set table, fields are automatically created. Okay, fields are automatically created. You don't have to create fields and send the data and all is not required. Fields are automatically generated based on whatever the data you're importing. Okay, whatever the data you're importing must be having different fields already, right? There must be fields already existing for that, right? Okay, so it must be having the fields already. So they are automatically generated based on the kind of data you are inputting. You don't have to create the fields and all. Okay. So here some of the best practices you need to follow while doing, while uploading by loading the data is understand your data structure before inputting. So you should understand what kind of data is exactly going on into ServiceNow. And you have to verify and clean data for absolute entries, fix inaccurate data before transformation, and plan important timing to minimize system impact. Okay, these are some best practices that you should follow. Okay, first step is now you have loaded the data, you have selected the data source, you have loaded the data into ServiceNow. Okay, now the data is stored in the temporary table. Okay, right. So now when after the data is stored in the temporary table, now there is a very important concept that we will do, that is transform. So what is a transformer? Okay, so transform map is a set of field mappings that define the relationship between fields in the import set table and fields in the target table. Okay, guys. So let's understand what exactly transform map is. Now, after loading the data is stored in the temporary table. Okay, stored in the temporary table. But we should have another table that's like the permanent table or the target table. Okay, it should store the data in the permanent table or the target table. Okay, final table. We have to select that final table. So final table, whether your custom table or your existing ServiceNow table, it can be any table which you choose. Okay, which you choose. That this data should move into this particular table only permanently, that you will decide. Okay, you will decide that. Okay, that is your decision. Now, to which table that, which permanent table this data will move. Okay, so to move the data from import set table to target table, that's the permanent table, we'll use this concept called transform map. Okay, so transform map is a set of field mappings that define the relationship between fields in an import set table and fields in the target. So while doing transform map, why transform map is done? Because we need to match the fields. Okay, we need to match the fields in the temporary table and permanent table. So the fields should be same. The fields in the temporary table and the fields in the permanent table should be same. Then only data will move. Okay, this particular data should move into this particular table, this particular field only you had to decide. Okay, that is done by mapping, transform mapping. So before transform mapping, in transform mapping only we have you know uh, three types of mapping is there. Okay, first one is automatic mapping. So what do you understand when, what do you call something automatic? What do you call something as automatic? When something is done automatically without any your help, right? So first one is automatic mapping. So automatic mapping, when you click on the button, automatically it will map the fields from temporary to permanent. It will directly map the fields automatically. You don't have to map it. So ServiceNow automatically matches fields when your import set tables have identical names to target tables. So identical name should be there. ServiceNow will automatically map. You don't have to do much. So this is a very quick and efficient for simple imports. Okay. Next type of mapping is mapping assist. Okay. So mapping assist is the manual mapping that we do. Okay, mapping assist is the manual mapping that we do. Okay, so some fields will not be mapped by ServiceNow during automated mapping. So rest of the fields we will map. So mapping assist is a convenient interface to manually map fields between your import set table and target table. Okay, it's like a perfect for complex mappings or when field names don't match. Okay, so once automatic mapping and mapping assist is done, then we will do the transform map where the data will move from import set. See, from import set table to the target table, data will move through field mapping. So this is where the magic happens, connecting your source data to the right destination field. Okay, this is where the magic happens. You'll connect the source data to the destination fields. See, transform function. So once the mapping is completed, execute the transform to move your data from import set to ta. So once both automatic mapping and mapping SS is done, you will do transform map, where you will move the data from import set table to the target table. Okay, this is where records are moved, created or updated. Okay, so this is how import set works. So first step is choosing the data source. Second step is load the data. Third step is transform map. And then fourth step is moving the data. Auto map mapping assist and moving the data. These are the steps we follow for. Okay, we'll be follow for import set. So there is one concept here, that is coalesce field. So what is coalesce field? So coalesce field is nothing but, suppose you're entering 10,000 records into ServiceNow. Okay. In that, among 2,000 records are already existing in service. They don't need to, again, they don't need to save as a recorder. We don't have want duplicate data. Okay. We don't want duplicate data. Okay. It's just that some of the fields are just changed. The record is there, fields are updated or something. So now I don't want to duplicate. I don't want to create a separate record for that in ServiceNow. Okay. So for that, we'll use this concept called coalesce field. Okay, for that, we'll use this concept called coalesce field. So this will be used as a unique key during imports. Okay, this determines whether existing records are updated or new records are created. So if this record is existing, it will update. Okay, if that records are not existing, it will create a new record. So if the record matches the correlate field, the existing record is updated with imported information. If no match is found, the record is found and new record is inserted into the database. Okay, this is all about coalesce field. This is one concept you should know in the import set. Understood import set? So let's try one example. So first step, can anyone tell what is the first step that we should do? First step we need for to create import set. We need external data, right? So firstly, we'll create external data. We'll go to Excel sheet. So let's create an Excel sheet. Student ID. First name. Surname. Next one is email. So these are four fields. So ID number is 101. Current outcome. So some data I'm creating. Okay, this is some data that I have created. So I'll save this. So I've just saved the data in my system and I kept it. Now let me go back to my instance. So our first step is done. So we used the Excel sheet, that's the spreadsheet as our external data. I have the data there and some records there. Now I want that records into ServiceNow. Okay, I want to enter those records into ServiceNow. So second step is load data. So when you enter load data in your application navigator under system imports, you can see load data. Okay, under system imports, you can see load data. So just click that. Okay, so first is our temporary table, that is import set table. This is nothing but our staging table or staging area or import set anything is called. This is a temporary table, already existing ServiceNow table as your temporary table, or you can create a new table now itself. So anyways, you can do it. Okay, either you can select choose an existing table, so that which is already existing in ServiceNow you can choose. Okay, or you can use import set. You can create a new table for now only, just for now you can create a new table. So I will create a new table. So let's name this as import VIP staging table. Okay, VIP staging is my temporary table that I'm creating it now only. Okay, here you can choose the data source. Okay, you can choose the file, whichever file, Excel file you have saved, you have to choose that file. Okay, from there data. So whatever the file you're choosing, from there the data is now will now get stored in this temporary table, that is import set table. Okay, from there the data will now get stored in the temporary table. So I'll choose the file. So just now I've selected created, right, in VIP import. My file name was VIP import. Okay, I named it as VIP import. So I've selected that. And now I am clicking on submit. Okay, I hope you're all following, right? Are you all following? Fine. So this is a temporary table, staging table. For time being, we're storing the data in this table from this file. Okay, this file is what we are taking the data from. So I'll click on submit. Yeah, so data is running. It is running, so just wait. So due to this instance issues these days, it's taking time, but otherwise it will run. So it's still showing running for us. Trying to load the instance. Just wait. Let's try again. Actually, the moment you select, it will load. One second, let me log out from my account only. Re-login from the instance. Guna, Anita, is anyone there?
Yes, Vaishnavi.
Yes. So can you just like continue for 5 minutes? I'll just check my instance and come. Like try asking questions. Just 2 minutes. I'll check the instance.
Yeah, no worries. We'll take care. So, hello all. If you are having any questions, you can ask. Attendance link. Yeah, we'll share soon. I don't know from where to get tasks. So, Manas Patidar, if you don't mind, can you please clearly ask the question? Like I'll try to explain that. Dornala Pradeep. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Dornala Pradeep. What CSA exams are mandatory? See, the thing is, if you're very interested in these CSA and CAD in service now, like you can write CSA exam as well. So please send the Telegram link. Yeah, our team will send you the Telegram link. Nagesh or Anita, if you don't mind, can you please send a Telegram link to Deepanshu? Sir, I have been stuck in a task in Welcome to ServiceNow course under the list and filter modules. Okay, let me check Kanak.
Yeah. Thank you, Guna. Let me continue.
Yes, yes, Vaishnavi, you can continue.
Yeah. So guys, so there was issue with instance only, so I again logged out and logged in. So now just after clicking the submit, the data is loaded into ServiceNow. So before going into the next steps, let me share the attendance form for today. Yes, I'm sharing the attendance form in the chat. Please fill the attendance form. It's mandatory, so don't miss out that. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see on my screen, the data is imported. Okay. See, you can see 5 inserts processed. It's completed. So you have to see here status has completed. Then only that means your data from Excel sheet, from your external data source, it's imported into the temporary table, not permanent. Okay. So now next step here you can see data is loaded. From load data, it is moved to data loaded. Okay, fine. It's loaded. It's loaded into, you can see. Go to the newly imported data inside the staging table. So it is loaded into VIP import. So I have loaded into some other table, that is VIP import. Okay. So next step is create transform map. So let's create transform map. Here our complete importing is done at this stage. So next is create transform map. Okay, now let's create a transform map. So name it something like VIP. So target import, something like that. I'm naming it. Okay, VIP target import is what I'm naming it. So you can see there is one mandatory field. Now this is our VIP import is a temporary table that we are storing the data. Okay, that's our temporary table. But we have to choose our permanent table. Okay, our data should move into permanent table. It should not stay in the temporary table forever. It cannot stay, right. It should move to the permanent table. So that is target table. So you have to choose target table. So target table should be chosen with proper analysis guides. You cannot just select any table as target table, because the fields should match, the columns should match, then only the data will move properly. Okay, if the fields are not matching, data cannot be moved. Okay, this is one thing you should remember. So here I'm selecting target table as user table. So sys underscore user is our user table, right? So that table I'm selecting as a target table. So now whatever the Excel sheet data, okay, whatever the Excel sheet data I am having should move into this user table. Okay, should move into this user table. That is my scenario. Okay, so target table, I've selected the target table and just save the form. Just save the transform map here. Okay, fine. So once you save the transform map, okay, so now our form has been saved. Okay, now after you saving, once you scroll down, you can see fields mapping. So fields, both the fields should map. So here under related links, you have the options, the mapping options, whatever I've discussed. Auto mapping, mapping assist, all these options you can find under the related links. So our first step is auto mapping. Like, right, I've said, right, step by step. First we'll do auto mapping, then we'll do mapping assist, then we'll do transform map. These are the three steps we'll do. So first, like I've discussed, first auto mapping. So let's do auto mapping, matching assist, matching fields. So don't forget to fill the attendance form because attendance is mandatory. Okay, field maps are created. So you can see two fields are mapped. So how many fields have we created in the Excel sheet? How many columns have we created? We've created a column name for student ID, first name, surname, so first name, surname, and next one is email. Okay, these are the four fields we have created, but only two fields automatically, only two fields have been mapped. Rest two fields are not mapped. Why? Because the naming is differed. Okay, because the name is differ, ServiceNow cannot detect, ServiceNow cannot map these two fields are same. Like in like next step we'll do mapping assist. Okay, automatically it mapped only two fields. Rest of the two fields we have to map it using mapping assist. We have to map them, we have to map it manually. Okay, ServiceNow cannot do it. So now I'll go to the next step, that is mapping assist. So this is how you'll map the field. So first name, first name, email, email has been mapped. So from this source table to target we have to map. So what is in the source table field is there for us? Student ID, right? So I'm pulling student ID, and here from here I'm pulling user ID. Okay, I am trying to map. Okay, so I'm mapping student ID and user ID are same. I'm trying to tell. So student ID data can get stored in the user ID. That's what I'm telling. Okay, manually I'm doing it. Student ID data can move to the user ID. That's what I am doing. Next one is, what is the other field? What's the other field? Surname, right? So surname, I am mapping it to last name. Okay, surname, last name, I am mapping. Clear? So two fields were automatically mapped because the naming is same. So here also it is called first name and here also it is called first name. That is it. That's why it matched. Here also it's called email and here also it's called email. That's why it's mapped. But here it is called student ID, but here it is called user ID. So it couldn't match. ServiceNow could not detect it. So we have manually matched it. Second, surname and last name also ServiceNow couldn't detect. So we have manually matched it. Okay, clear. Attendance link has been shared in the chat. Please check. Yeah, so this is done. Now I will save. Four fields are matched. Yeah, so four fields has been matched now. That step is done. So selecting the data source is done, loading the data is done, auto matching is done, mapping assist is done. So fifth step is transform map. Okay, fifth step is transform. So under the related links only you can find the transform option. Okay, under the related links only you can find the transform option. So just click on transform. Okay, so it is done. Now I'll click on transform again. So success. So our import is done. Okay, so our transform history you can see, go to import set for what data. So everything you can see. So transformation has been completed. So how to check? See, 5 rows has been done. So let's go to user table. Sys underscore. So actually data should run. Why it didn't move? Reprocess. Why status showing pending? There's error. Status still showing running. That's the reason. Uh, Data is not moving. Actually, there's network issue completely. Not network issue, but actually there's an issue with the instances only. ServiceNow instances. So okay. So so if instance work properly, we can try again tomorrow. So I wanted to show my Cole's field also, but uh, there's a lot of issue with the instance. Data is imported, but it's not moving into the completed state. I don't know why. Fine. So let's do like, let's not waste any more time. 1 second. Yeah, so this is about import set. I hope you understood the theory. So if I'll check again with my, whenever instance is working properly, if possible, we can try the same example tomorrow. So no worries about that. Other concept that is called knowledge. So other concept in ServiceNow. So in ServiceNow, knowledge management is has an entire complete portal for it. Like it's like a, we have a complete web page for knowledge management for ServiceNow. Okay, like I told on the very first day, we have an e-commerce website for ServiceNow, right? Okay, like I mentioned on the very first day that we have an e-commerce website for ServiceNow. So just like e-commerce website, we have a web page for ServiceNow knowledge management also. ServiceNow knowledge management also, we have a web page. So what is a knowledge management? So imagine like, uh, there was a project. Okay, there came up a project in ServiceNow which was a completely new project. Nobody has any idea about that project. Like they haven't done such type of project before. Okay, so they're completely new to the concepts that are being used, new to the versions or feature of that project. Okay, so what happens is some number of 10 or 20 people start working on the project, and with lot of difficulties, in 1 year or 2 years, how much of a time they would take, and they would somehow come up with a solution for their project. They'll completely build the project on their own. Okay, they'll try to find new features, they'll explore a lot in depth in service now, and somehow they'll try to build the entire project from scratch. Okay, they try to build the entire project from scratch. uh, so with lot of difficulties, they researched it, they analyzed, they explored the platform in depth, they found they founded the features that they didn't know before. Okay, so somehow they'll get the solution for that project, they'll build it from the scratch. So it is done. Finally, at the end, there comes people can it is ready to use that project. So they come to this stage. Okay, so in that project only there comes a, there come, if in case there comes up a, really difficult error, and that error was resolved after lot of research, analysis, and hard work. Now what, it is done. And after what happens is like, after this project is done, maybe after 4 or 5 years, same kind, some other companies building this their own project, and same kind of error. Okay, same kind of error that they got previously. They also, this new company which is building their new project also got the same kind of error. Okay, like, is it right for this new company also to take 1 or 2 years to rectify that error? Okay, it's not right, because they already rectified it. They got some solution for that error. Now if that same kind of error is repeating again to some other company, it's not, we cannot, that latest company, it's not, it's not good for them to again spend so many years to rectify it, to find a solution for the error that was already there, already existed, and someone got the solution. So to avoid such situations, we have something called knowledge management, where people who found a solution, okay, people in the first place who found the solution, who rectified the error, who got the solution for that error, what will they do is they'll write an article. Okay, they'll write an article describing the error and what solution have they found. They'll write and keep it in the knowledge management. Okay, they will store that article in the knowledge management, so that in the coming upcoming years, if any person or any company or any team is facing similar or same kinds of error, they can come read the article and rectify their error. They can do something. They have, it's like they, it's like helping them, right? So it is nothing but knowledge sharing. So any update, any if there is some error and they found a solution, they'll post it in an article in the knowledge management. And like we have discussed, ServiceNow releases new versions every 6 months or every 6 months ServiceNow releases new version. So what are the updates? What updates of these new versions came up? Where the updates came up, everything can be put it in the article in knowledge management. And now in knowledge management, anyone can come and read, can access that knowledge management. It's like a library, guys. You have a, it's like a library which holds articles, like a library holds the books. uh, Knowledge management also holds different types of articles here. Okay, so it's like a knowledge sharing platform. You can share the knowledge, you can gain the knowledge. If you found out some solution, you can share it with others, so that it will help someone else, some other people who got same kind of error. So indirectly you're helping them by sharing the article. So if you only have want to find any solution, you will go there and try to read, try to research, or try to find some article which is related to that problem you're facing. Okay, you'll only go and find the, you know any solution by yourself, which was already existing. So it is making work easy, right? So you are sharing knowledge, you're gaining knowledge, so it's like a community you're building together. Okay, this is what knowledge management is used in real-time service now work. So knowledge management enables users to create. You can create the article, you can categorize. Categorize is nothing but you can put the articles in a proper category, right? You can create a section where IT related articles will be. That's a where CMDB related article. You can categorize the articles. You can review. So as a reader, if you're reading some article, you can review that article. Okay, so approve if you are a manager in a company, and like you're a manager for this knowledge approval thing. So approval works in such a way that if you approve only, that knowledge article will be shared to everyone. It will be shared in the knowledge portal if you approve only. So that's how create, categorize, review, and approve works. And you can browse important information. So any kind of important information, you can browse it from the centralized location, and you can also share to the entire organization. So if you're working for a company and you have like suppose today you have read some article, very good article, and if you feel that article would help your company, to your company's project, so you can share that article to your organization, to your entire organization, so that it will help everyone, each and everyone who's working on that particular project. Okay, this is what knowledge management basically is. So in other words, we can say this knowledge management is like a centralized repository. It's like a centralized repository. So here, knowledge content exists within knowledge bases managed by knowledge managers. So this will understand why it is called centralized repository. And so knowledge management, uh, can also you can also create ACLs for knowledge management. You can also create ACLs for knowledge management. You can decide who can access the article. So knowledge articles might be open. It's up to you. But if you want to release these articles for only particular people in a particular section of people, you can use ACLs and give access to those people only to access the knowledge article. Like you can see this, HR administrators can limit access using user criteria based on location or role. So integration works with event management to generate resolution articles from CI issues. So administrators with knowledge admin role can manage multiple knowledge bases and control system-wide settings. So one role that that is used in knowledge management is knowledge admin. Okay. So coming to the knowledge management, we have two important things in this. Okay, coming to the knowledge management, we have two important things. One is knowledge base, and the second one is knowledge article. Okay, you have to understand what is knowledge base and what is knowledge article. What is the difference between these two? You have to understand. So, what is a knowledge base? So, let's understand this with an example. So, I think you all have visited libraries, right? You all have visited libraries, right? No, none of you visited a library any time before. Okay, so when you enter into the library, there will be sections, right? So suppose science section will have science books, math section will have math books, and if you go to English section, it'll be you'll have English books, and if you go to fiction, you'll have fictional books, and if you go to non-fic, you can see non-fiction books. Like you'll have different sections. Literature will have literature books. Okay, social will have political books. So it you have different sections. If you go to that particular section, you'll find these books. Okay, it's not like in science section you'll find literature books or fiction books. It's not it is not like that, right? Okay, in science section, do you find literature books or any fiction books, novels? No, right? Some science related books only you'll find. So exactly, so here, like how library arranges and puts the books in proper sections. Okay. So in knowledge management also we have something called knowledge base, where we have bases, different knowledge bases are there. So like these knowledge bases can be like IT knowledge base, okay, social knowledge base, or media knowledge, social media knowledge base, or hardware knowledge base, software knowledge base. So suppose if you created a knowledge base that is IT, and in that only IT related articles will be posted. And if you have created any social media knowledge base, all social media knowledge articles will be posted there. And if you have any, if you have put any science, like hardware knowledge base, all the hardware related articles will be posted then. And if you have created any software knowledge base, all software related articles will be there. So in IT you should not post social media articles. So you're arranging the articles in a proper way. Okay, you're categorizing the articles in a proper way, so that when anyone wants to read the article, when anyone open the knowledge management, they will find the article quickly. So it's properly organized, it's properly arranged, okay, without any confusions. A reader or whoever is searching, coming there to search an article, they shouldn't find it difficult to find the article or to find whatever. So suppose a reader, and, someone wants to read something related to cyber security. Okay, cyber security. So whenever he opens knowledge management, he can go into IT base and search for cyber security. It will be easy, right? So this category will have cyber security. He will, and so in hardware he won't find cyber security. Definitely not, right? In hardware section, he won't find cyber security. In IT or software section only, he'll find cyber security article. So that's how bases are important. So a knowledge homepage displays articles organized by knowledge base and category. So in knowledge base also you can have categories. Suppose in IT you can have two categories, hardware and software. In hardware you can keep hardware related articles, and in software you can keep software related articles. So base can have category also. So category is not compulsory, it's not mandatory. Okay, category is not mandatory. You can create it, if you want you can categorize it, otherwise not required, but base is important. Yeah. So coming to the base, we have something called user criteria. So user criteria is similar to our ACL thing. Okay, user criteria is similar to our ACL thing. So in user criteria you will decide which users can see or which users cannot see the article. Okay, so user criteria defines conditions that are evaluated against users to determine which users can create, read, write or retire knowledge articles. So if you go to knowledge base and see, let's see, like I don't know if this instance is working properly or not, but let me show at least. If it works, that's well and good. So under knowledge, open knowledge bases. So I want to create a new knowledge base for myself. At least let me walk you through what are the fields in the knowledge base. Some title you can give. Social media knowledge base. I'm giving some title. So you should add the owner. So this knowledge base should definitely have a owner. Owner is nothing like he's like the manager. Okay, so we need his approval or anything. He's the owner of that article. You should definitely give the owner. It's like the mandatory field. Okay, to give the owner. So any owner you can give. So I'll give admin only. Yeah. So if you want to add extra managers or something, you can add. Okay. So here again, two things are very important: publish flow and retire flow. Okay, publish flow and retire flow. So in this we have four things. Coming to this publish flow and retire flow, we have four things, four choices in this publish flow. So one is approval publish, second one is approval retire, and third one is instant publish and instant retire. So what is this? So coming to let's read about instant publish. Okay, what is instant publish? So instant publish is whenever you create an article, the very moment, okay, instantly it should be published. So you don't want anyone's approval. Okay, the moment you create an article and match it, you put it in this knowledge base. You want that article to be published. So what do you mean by publish here? What do you mean by publish? Can anyone answer? Yes. So publish means whenever you publish an article, now it is available for any users to read that article. Okay, any users to read that article. So any user, anyone can read that article. No? That is published. So instant publish is nothing but the moment, while creating the article only, it will directly be published. So you don't anyone else to approve it, anyone else to check that article or verify that article to publish. You will directly publish without anyone disturbing it. That is instant publish. So after instant publish we have something called we have another option called approval publish. Okay, approval publish. So what is this approval publish? So approval publish is nothing but you definitely need someone's approval to publish. Okay, you definitely need someone's approval to publish the article. You cannot publish the article without approval. So approval publish, this manager, whoever the manager owner you're selecting, they should approve the article, then only your article will be published. Without their approval you cannot publish the article. Okay, that is approval publish. And next one is, next one we have retire flow. Under retire flow also we have two options, that is instant retire and approval retire. Okay, so retire is nothing but delete the article. So suppose at some point you want to delete the article. Okay, here we have a term to delete the article, terminology we'll use is retire. Okay, at some point if you want to delete the article, you'll use this retire. You'll have an option to retire the article. Okay, remove the article from the knowledge management. So for that also, you're selecting a flow, whether you can instantly rewrite the article with one click or you need approval to retire the article. Okay, if you're selecting instant retire with one click, you'll have a button to retire, and when you click on that, it will be instantly retire without any further verification and all. It will be instantly retire at that very moment. It will be retired. But coming to the approval retired, you need someone's approval. Like just like you need someone's approval to publish the article, you need their approval to retire the article also. So that person or that manager or that owner, whoever it is, should approve you to retire that article. They should approve. When you click on approve, and he'll receive a notification, or he should actually approve your idea to retire. Okay, you cannot just directly go and delete that article or completely remove that article. You need an approval to remove that article. Clear? So this is how these publish flow and retire flow works. So very important, guys. This publish flow, this instant publish, instant retire. These four things are very important. Again, I'm saying instant publish is nothing but without anyone's approval, without any user's approval, without any person's approval, you can instantly, you can directly that very moment you can publish the article. Okay, so publish is nothing but for anyone to see that article, anyone can read that article. That is instant publish. And next one is instant, approval publish. Approval publish is again nothing but someone, some manager or some owner, some user, whichever user you select, they have to approve your article to publish. Okay, without their approval, you cannot publish your article. Okay, so best practice is always keep an approval. You have to always keep an approval for an article. That is the best practice. Okay, in real time, if you're working, if you're really posting an article in the real time work, you have to definitely put an approval. Okay, and instant retire is to retire means to remove the article, or to remove the article from the knowledge management is called retire. So we have two options again in the retire, that is instant retire and approval retire. So instant retire is directly with one click. If you want to remove that article, then that is instant retire. Okay, approval retire is someone should approve for you to remove that article. Some user again, some manager or someone should approve. So whichever you're selecting here, the same manager you can select to remove. Okay, that is about publish flow. And here you have different options. So whenever you write an article, we definitely have options to comment on it. Okay, so whichever user, whoever is reading that article, can comment on that, right? So if you don't want anyone to comment on it, you can disable it, you can check it, directly for that base itself. So when you are disabling the commenting for base itself, so even if there are 100 articles in this page, for everything comments will be disabled. Okay, not just one article. So you're selecting all this for a base, so in this base you can have any number of articles. Okay, for that section, for that entire base itself, you're disabling the comments. Okay, you can disable the comments. Suggestions, we have an option for suggestions also. So if you want to disable, you don't want anyone to give any suggestions for the article you wrote, you can disable it in the knowledge base. And you can disable editing, category editing. So someone, some category, someone would pick something and they want to edit something in that, you can disable that. And you can disable rating also. Rating is definitely, we have something called rating 5 stars. So if whoever reads the article can rate it, they can give 3, 4, 5 star, how many stars they want. And you don't want anyone to rate it, you can disable that. And mark as helpful, we have an option called mark as helpful, which has like thumbs. So if you want to remove that, you can that also you can remove. So this is how knowledge base will be created. So for now I'm selecting instant publish, instant retire only. So we'll see. We'll see if we can create an article, if instances are working or not. Instances are really not working. See, for everything it is showing running transaction. Yeah. So after you save, after you create the knowledge base, again we have two very important options here: can read and can contribute. So what are these? So this is nothing but can read and can contribute comes under the user criteria. Okay, comes these two comes under the user criteria. Okay, so can read is means like if you see this edit option, so you're deciding, you can select whichever the user can read the article, like any user with ITIL role or any user with the knowledge role. Okay, like all users, any user. So you're deciding who can actually read your article. You're giving some user criteria, whether these people can read the article or not. Okay, you're giving some user criteria, so that comes under can read. So you can select under can read who your who can read the article. So it's by default set to any user, so any user can read the article. And coming to can contribute, can anyone guess what might can contribute be? Yes, can anyone guess what can contribute might be? Yes, can contribute means, so if you want any user, any person who can read the article, who is reading the article, if you want, if you're okay with them making any changes to your article, okay, they can make any changes, any updates they want to make, they can contribute it. Okay, they can be part of that article, they can contribute something for that. So you can select which user can contribute it again. So what kind of users, can actually contribute to this article, you can decide. So again, any users with ITL role or CMDB role or admin role, any users, they can contribute, they can make some changes, or they can add their knowledge to this article. That is nothing but can contribute. So can read and can contribute again are very important here. So let me, so this has been created. Now I'll go to articles. Let's create one article. Under knowledge, you can see knowledge. So you can see my knowledge base is created here, social media. So I'm selecting that knowledge base. In that I want to select article template, standard template only I'm using. Next. It's taking time to load. Okay, so some short description like cyber security article. So category, it's not mandatory to create a category. So schedule, I will set it to today only. So publish it, I'm not giving anything because so if I want to show it to right now immediately I cannot show it. So it will publish whichever the date you're giving. So some article, let's load some article. Okay, this is my article. And I'll select save. Okay, now our article is done. So let's publish it. view article. So this is our knowledge cyber security article. Okay, see, you can rate it and say helpful. You can post a comment. Okay, this is how knowledge article is. So again, I'm reminding you, uh, finish the four courses, three courses, sorry. Okay, the three courses. Welcome to ServiceNow, welcome to ServiceNow Micro Certification, and ServiceNow Administration Fundamentals. So finish the three courses. Okay, so last 5 minutes. Any questions from your side will be answered. So fill out the attendance form. It is mandatory. Ma'am, is CSA course optional or mandatory to do in ServiceNow Administration Fundamentals? See, ServiceNow Administration Fundamentals should be finished, should definitely be completed in your SNU. Okay, but if your certification exam is not mandatory, but finish the course to get the completion certificate. For internship certificate, you have to complete the course. Attendance form has already been posted, right? Please check in the chat. No, don't terminate the instance. You should never terminate the instance. Okay, don't terminate the instance. If instance is running, at a time, then you have to terminate. Instance is expired 12th August. Tomorrow is 12th August, no? So where are you stuck, Vinay? See, guys, if both instances are running and you're not able to use it, if it is running for other course, then you have to terminate. But for every lab you're doing, don't terminate the instance. Okay, if you're doing it simultaneously, then terminate. If both instances, courses instances are working simultaneously, it won't work. So then terminate. Otherwise, don't terminate the instance, because if you lose the instances, you should again go and request the help center to give you instances. That will take time. It is a process again. Yeah, so the time is up. If anything, you can always reach out to us on Telegram group. So if you're stuck somewhere, please post the screenshots in the Telegram group. We'll answer it. We're working. Our team is there. Okay. So yeah, rest of the questions will be taken tomorrow. Thank you, Thank you, guys. Good night.